What is going on, everybody? The anticipated Fight Island is a few days away. UFC 251 is a couple days away this Saturday. It is going down. Starting early over in Dubai. 2 a.m. the card starts. A lot of fighters, I think, will be trying to keep to their home time and not switch times and adapt to Abu Dhabi time. So that'll be interesting to see how that goes. You've probably seen some pictures throughout this week of the octagon on the beach. Looks like it's just for show. That one, they will be fighting in the that little stadium arena. But yeah, you've been hearing people saying how crazy hot it is out there. How they can't even be outside for longer than 10 minutes, and their whole body's sweating and their shirts drenched. So it's pretty crazy to see. Main card over by them will be starting at 6 a.m. So you're looking at the main event probably around 8 a.m. Around that time. So for us, it's normal. It's going to be starting, 6, 7 o'clock in the evening. So no changes for us. Just some other things that happened this week. Obviously, we know with Burns, unfortunate for Burns. He deserved that shot. All the wins, how he's been fighting in the past year, definitely sucks for him. But hey, we got a better card, guys. We got Masvidal on the card now, taking his place on a 6-day notice. Obviously, he got some more money. I think he got a better percentage in pay-per-view, and obviously a little bit of a raise to take this on short notice. So definitely interesting week. Very excited for these fights. We're obviously going to go over the card here. I'm going to go over the main three fights, give you a play, lean. I do have a couple official plays on the main fights. I'll go over some leans as well. And also a value bet along with my parlay. So let's get right into it. Let's start with the updated record, guys. Updated record. Got some new graphics here. Hopefully you enjoy them. It's 25-9 on straight bets that were posted. These are straight bets, official bets, and that's 73%. Parlays 10-6, and that's after a 4-month period of posting. I do have higher record on personal plays. I usually have one extra personal play after the weigh-ins on the fight day. Sometimes I will release it on Twitter, so look out for those. Sometimes I won't, but yeah, let's get right into it, guys. Huisman minus 330 it opened up at. Okay, it's down to minus 275, minus 250 now. You can get Huisman, plus 220. It opened up plus 250, so you're in that range right now. A lot of people are obviously jumping on Masvidal because he's the popular guy, right? He's the popular guy. Things you're finding out, he has been training this and that as of late. So obviously he is the popular guy. People are going to jump on him. Public's going to jump on him. But let's just break it down here a little bit. So obviously this is the fight we wanted from the beginning, right? It gets signed after Burns goes out with COVID. Like I said, I'm sure Masvidal got paid handsomely and close to what he wanted, at least. He said he got close to what he wanted, so that's good. Let's go over Huisman. Huisman had a camp, however, it was for Burns, right? The camp was for Burns. Totally different fighter than Masvidal. So, yes, Huisman should be in the better shape for the 5 rounds, but keep in mind, he was training with a new training camp, Trevor Whitman and Gaethje over there, and it was for Burns. So they're not getting any training. He's not getting any training with Whitman and Gaethje for Jorge. So that's something to keep in mind. We all know Jorge's taking this on 6-day notice. How much has Jorge been training? Prior to the Burns fight being signed, Masvidal was training for Huisman. Okay, he was bringing in top tier wrestlers, Bo Nickel, a couple other guys to train with him. If you've seen the Poirier interview as well, Poirier was training with him. He was the main striker, training for that Hooker fight. So we know he's been training. Maybe the past few weeks, let's say he hasn't been training, but I don't think it's going to be a huge deal. the 2 week layoff. Yes, he probably hasn't been eating the best. He does have 20 pounds to cut, so we'll definitely see how that goes. But yeah, that will definitely be interesting to see how that plays out. Let's just go over the fight style. You know, we all know Huisman, the bigger guy. He's going to be the stronger guy. He is the better wrestler. But if Huisman decides to bang like the Kobe fight, I think Masvidal has a chance in this fight. Remember, guys, this is the best striker Huisman has faced. Right? It's going to be the best and most experienced fighter that Huisman has faced. So I do think the line is off a little bit. The opening line definitely 330 is too high. I do think the 250 is reasonable for Huisman. Huisman should win this fight, but Masvidal can win this fight. You know, what's not allowing me to go in all in on Masvidal as a big dog here is Huisman just grinding him against the cage, holding him down, ground and pound, and being a stronger fighter. If Masvidal can stop the takedowns, he has a good fight. He has a good chance in this, right? So we have to see, is Masvidal in that 5-round championship fight? You know, is he in that shape? This situation, I think, is a win-win for Jorge. If he loses, he's taking the fight on 6 days notice with no camp. He gets paid more. He has that excuse to say he took it in short notice. So I don't think he's afraid of Huisman. You know, I don't think Jorge is the last person to be afraid of somebody. So I think it's a lot to deal for Jorge. The travel, the 6-day notice. One of his corner guys went down. They got Bo Nickel in there now. But however, I would love to see him win. I love Masvidal. You know, I'm on the Masvidal train like everybody. They do love him. But I just think it's going to be a tough win for him. What I'm going to be on here is the over 3.5 rounds at minus 120. Okay, so over 3.5 rounds at minus 120. If you guys want to even be more safe, go over 2.5 rounds. You're going to lay more of a juice, minus 175, 180. But that's what I like. The minus 120 over 3.5 rounds. I think it could go all 5. However, I can also see it being ended in the 4th or 5th. So that's why I'm going to be on that. Next fight, let's go to Volkanovski Holloway 2 rematch of this one. You know, it's been about Volk minus 220. It's down to 200 now, getting Holloway around plus 180 value. You know, I really want to take Max here. I do really like the guy. He's one of my favorite fighters. I just don't see it. I don't see how he can beat Volk. I think he's just a bad matchup all around for Volkanovski. We've seen in the first fight, I think Volk won at least 4 to 5 rounds, maybe all 5. We all know Max is saying he thought he won the fight or he could have won the fight. I don't see it. I think Volk pretty much dominated that fight. Obviously, the leg strikes, you can see here in the chart that the leg strikes were the main reason why, right? On the feet, you know, I think still Volk won the exchanges. On the feet as well, you know, striking, using his punches. I just don't see too much changing here, guys. We know Volk has been training hard for this one. He really wants to prove he deserved that first win. He wants to try to get a stoppage. I don't think he'll get a stoppage. So I do think he should win by decision. You can get that at plus 100 or Volk to win the fight at minus 200. And I'm just a little worried how focused Max is. He said his training, he hasn't been training much. He was training over Zoom, etc. He hasn't been going to the gym with his partners. The first time he's seen his training partners and coaches were in Vegas a few days ago. I don't know if I believe him, especially at a high caliber fighter like that. They usually find some way to get training in. It's just, after watching that first fight multiple times, I just don't see how much different Max can come out and win this fight. So I'm going to be here on Volk. We're going to go back to Volk wins the fight. And by decision, you're going to get that at plus 100. Next fight here, Bantam title on the line as well. It's 3 title fights, guys. This is the 3rd one here. Jan versus Aldo. Looking at Yan around, minus 250, minus 220. Sounds reasonable. Another fighter I never thought I would see at a huge dog is Aldo. However, he's facing a dangerous Russian guy in Yan. And I think he's the future of this division, guys. Again, it's similar to the dogs in the other fights. Definitely value with Aldo. However, I can't bet against Yan. Right? You see, there is some value with all dogs in all three fights, guys. Right? I see some guys just betting all three dogs. Right? You hit one or two, you can profit depending how you're betting. So I do see one of the dogs possibly getting through, possibly winning the fight. It's just tough to take Aldo here. Yan has been training hard in Thailand. I've been watching some of his training camp with those Tiger guys up there. It's a top-notch camp. Obviously, he's won 9 fights in a row. Aldo's coming off back-to-back losses. Although I think he beat Marlon in that fight. Very close. I do think he won. He's obviously fighting the tougher competition, Aldo, in his career. But, Jan's just fighting who's in front of him. And he's technically pretty much destroying everybody. So I am going to be on Yan here. You can get it at TKO at plus 120. But my main play in this fight, the official play, is going to be fight goes the distance. You can get that at minus 160, minus 163. And I'm also going to throw the over 2.5 rounds, minus 175. And that's going to be in the parlay here. Parlay, 2-fight distance parlay, guys. Yan and Aldo over 2.5 rounds. I'm going to parlay that also with another over 1.5 rounds, the Rose and Jessica Andrade fight. 1.5 rounds. You're going to get that plus 114. So over Yan, 2.5 rounds, Rose, 1.5 rounds, plus 114, guys. Let's jump into the value bet, guys. Value bet on the board. I got it at plus 140. It's the Czech. It's his debut. It's Prochaska. He is making his debut against Amir. It's a tough fight. I think if they fought 10 times, maybe 6-4, 5-5. But I like the rookie in his debut. This guy looks good, guys. If you guys seen his fight, definitely a knockout specialist. It could be one of the fight of the night. It is the prelim main event. I've been watching a lot of the Czechs fights. Obviously in Risen, the champion over there. Great knockout power. Moves very well. Cardio's good. I think a little bit of a late bloomer, but he seems like he can be a factor in his division. Definitely a tough first fight. Ozdemir fought the best of the guys. His competition that he's fought, very high level. I think his gas tank is a little bit of an issue if it gets into the second or third round. So I think that does favor the Czech fighter here. So I'm going to be on him as my value bet at plus 140. If you want real value, look at the KO plus 300. Huge value there for the Czech fighter. All right, guys, that's the video. Hopefully you guys enjoy the fights this weekend. Exciting time at Fight Island. Hopefully, we get all the fighters at the 100% level that they can. Obviously, the weather and the quarantine and the travel, you never know what's going to happen sometimes with all that. But I do like the plays here. We are going to hopefully continue this run. Please hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed. It helps me out a lot. Please like the video. It does help. Thanks for watching, guys. And like I always say, bet smart and know your limits.